Hello lovely people, how you guys doing? We are back again with another fantastic video. So over the years, as I've been really like breaking down in my career, trying to figure things out, one thing I personally have kind of been encountering a lot is what I want to be known for, what I want people to call me, or what I want people to, when they mention my name, they know, okay, this is what Kwame is about, right? And personally, like, if I'm to look back, or if I'm to look at how certain people know me, I think some people know me as KP the photographer, some people know me as Kwame the guy that shoots gym videos, or some people also know me as, oh, the guy that does that works in film, that does films, but they don't even know that I'm also a photographer, right? So I have like different things that I do. Like, some people know me as a director, some people know me as a cinematographer, some people know me as a photographer, some people know me as a gaffer, right? There's so many umbrellas that sometimes I feel like I find myself in. And over these past years, personally for me, like, it makes it hard, where I'm always kind of like questioning myself, like, what do I want to be known for? What do I really enjoy doing? Or what is the trajectory? What is the direction that I'm trying to go, right? Let's take photography for instance, right? I really love doing photography, right? I started this whole journey with photography, although photography was really not the plan, or photography was never really in the picture. I moved from Ghana to Canada to pursue film and television, right? That is literally why I moved over here. As I got here, I luckily for me was able to find myself a camera, and I started doing photography and stuff. And then as time and time progressed, people started to know me for photography. And I remember there was a time that I was really struggling with it, because I was like, I am in school for film, I do film, I want to work in film, but people know me as KP the photographer. And that was really hard for me, I'm not going to lie, because it was like, okay, I've moved miles to come into this country to come and pursue this, but it looks like I'm doing something different, which was really hard, I'm not gonna lie. Then as I went to film school, and as I started working in film and stuff, one thing I've also realized is, now it's like I'm enjoying film, I'm doing film, and then even in the film industry now, there's this dilemma of, okay, so what do I really want to be known for? What am I actually doing? Do I want to be a director, or do I want to be a cinematographer? Like, is it time for me to let go of some, or is it time for me to find a way to merge these other things that I'm doing? Or is it that I just keep doing what I'm doing, and then at the end of the day, whatever that is really the right one for me, it will just bring itself out, right? Because I think I am really struggling a little bit, right? Because how I see it, right, is there are moments where I can feel like I'm going so much into maybe cinematography, and I start to sit down and I'm like, okay, what about the photography? I need to also learn about photography and stuff, and I will start spending so much time in photography, trying to hone my craft in photography, and I'll be going deeply into photography. Then I'm like, oh no, I need to also work on like my cinematography. Like, how do I get work to show for? Like, right now, if let's say you go on social media per se, if you look at my social media, especially my business page, most of the things that you see a lot of photography stuff over there. Most of the people that even follow my business page, or that they follow, most of them, about 99.99 of them, probably follow my page because of photography. And here I find myself where now I'm trying to find a way to venture in cinematography, documentary, like cinematography stuff, film stuff, and let other people know that, okay, there's this side of me too. And it can be, it's a little bit of like, I personally feel like there's a little bit of clash currently going on, right? Some kind of like, I don't want to use the word like, I don't know, like personality, like there's a clash in personalities, because it's like, okay, what are you for? Like, what is this about? Like, what do you want to be known for? That's the best way to go about it, right? What do you want to be known for? I've had instances where I'm like, okay, cool, do I want to keep my business page to strictly photography, and maybe start another page where people will know me for a different thing? And there's this kind of like internal battle that I'm currently really going, because I sometimes hate the fact that I can find myself in, like, I hate the fact that different people know me for different things, and I feel like sometimes maybe it's hindering some opportunities that I would have gotten, right? Because sometimes like I could be working with a model or be doing a photography gig, and then a videography staff may come in and then they'll be like, oh yeah, I was looking for a videographer, I was looking for this, and I called this person, and I'm like, oh, I also do this. And they'll go like, oh really, you do that? Oh, I didn't know you do that, right? So it's like, okay, how do I properly market myself in such a way that I can also be able to satisfy all the subsets of me, right? That is the dilemma that I'm currently in, where it's like, at the end of the day, I love doing all these things, right? And then when I also break it down to, there's also that dilemma of, okay, especially in working in film, there's that also that dilemma of, okay, do I want to really pursue cinematography or do I want to pursue directing, right? There's also that big dilemma where I personally feel like, you see, that in itself kind of like even need its own video. There's also that big dilemma where I'm like, okay, I really like directing, but at the same time I really like playing with cameras. I like being behind the camera, and I like being able to shoot and set the light and doing all that, right? So there are so many stuff that I really love and I really enjoy doing, but it has gotten to that point where it's like, okay dude, is beginning to look like you might have to pick a side, right? Because let's say, oh, I can go 100%, I can give, let's say I have 100% in me. I personally feel like I can't give 100% to maybe photography, 100% to being a director, or 100% to being the best cinematographer, right? Because if I'm doing that, then mostly I'm gonna be giving like 33% of my of how much attention I can give to each, and giving 33, that is not really the right way to go about. You need to kind of be giving your full attention to one, right? So there's this big dilemma. I don't know why I keep repeating dilemma, but there's this battle where it's like, okay, what am I majoring in and what am I minoring in? Am I going to major in directing and pursue directing and go all out to being a director, and then minor in just being a cinematographer, and then just doing my cinematography stuff, and then maybe have photography as a hobby? There's this whole thing of what is the balance, and I know probably I'm not the only person that is currently going through this. I know some people are also going through this. Like, you guys should let me know, like, if you also find yourself in this scenario, in this position where it's like, okay, what direction am I trying to go? Because I know so many people, like, especially even working with film in film, I know so many people that are like, yeah, I like to DP, but I also like to direct. And I'm like, okay, so what's the plan? And they're like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to see how it goes and all that, right? Currently, I would say I don't really have the answer for all these. Like, I'm just waiting on God to see what He has planned for me. But the battle of trying to make sure that I'm able to give my 100% is currently something that I'm just struggling with, because I want to be able to give my 100%, but if my attention span or if my energy is divided into 3 or 4 or 5 different stuff that I know I'm also like very good at, or some of them I may not be good at, but I'm also working my way up to it, then it becomes, okay, so which ones am I giving my energy more to, and which ones am I kind of like working slowly, bringing it in a little bit, and then which ones am I maybe those things may just end up being just a hobby, right? Right now, if I'm to look at it, I think the one that brings me more money is photography, right? Photography brings me more money. I'm good in cinematography. So it's like, if let's say I'm rating myself in all these, like, how do I see myself? I can rate myself as a photographer. I can rate myself as maybe someone that is above 85%. Like, I know I take really good photos. My photos are really amazing. And even it's something, I'm not someone that toots their horn very much, but it's one thing that I know that I'm very good at, which is like the photography work that I do, right? So I can give myself A+ on photography. Cinematography, I feel like I'm still learning. I feel like I'm still in the early stages of it. So I will give myself, maybe with cinematography, I'll give myself maybe 65%, right? I'll give myself like 65% in cinematography. And then as a director, now that is I feel like it's also like a very tricky thing, because being a photographer, I get to direct people, And one thing that I've really learned with working with other people is realizing that some people say, oh, when they work with me, like the way that I'm able to give them directions, they really love how I give them directions. So I think I would give maybe being a director and being able to direct people and bring out creative, the creative, what do you call it? Be able to bring out the creativity in them. I think I'm really good at it, and I would probably rate myself about 70 to 75%, right? So when I'm rating, I think Kwame as a photographer is like about 85. Kwame as a director is like maybe 70 to 75, and then Kwame as a cinematographer is maybe 60 to 65, right? So it's all these where it's like, okay, at the end of the day, which ones do I want to bring up? Because I feel like there are moments where I'm like, okay, I also want to learn how to really write, because I want to write and direct, right? So it's like, okay, then when does Kwame as the writer also comes in, right? So it's like there's all these hats that I personally feel like I'm trying to wear at the same time. And personally, I feel like there are moments where it's like, okay, I think I might have to let go of certain things, or I'm also at a position where I need to focus on other things and not try to bring in new things in the picture, right? So this is this small thing that I've been thinking about, where it's like, okay, cool, how do I find ways and means to kind of like make all these things possible? Because there's Kwame the photographer, there's Kwame the director, there's Kwame the cinematographer, there's Kwame the writer, right? Because like I've had projects where I wrote it myself, right? There's Kwame the writer. So it's like, how I want to be the best at what I do, but then how do I become the best of what I do if at the end of the day I'm kind of like spread between so many things, right? And I don't want that. I want to be known and I want to be good at something, and that is that dilemma. I don't have the answer for it. It's just a little rant. I don't really have the answer, but what that I know is at the end of the day, the one that is right for me will be right for me, and then the ones that maybe maybe something that I'm just I'm good at, but it's not really something that is my career, those ones too will pop up. And the things that maybe it's just a hobby and I just love doing it, maybe it's not something I want to pursue as a career, it's just something that I just enjoy doing, those things too will just bring itself out. So I'll just see how things goes. I mean, I'm just praying that at the end of the day, the right things will just align for me, and God knows what He's doing. I don't want to probably think too much about it, but I know God knows what He's doing, and then the right things will just start to align for me. But now that it has not aligned, I'll just go with the flow. I'll be Kwame the photographer, I'll be Kwame the director, Kwame that's trying to become a director. I'll be Kwame that's a cinematographer, Kwame that's also trying to write scripts, right? Sometimes it's just too much, but I'll just trust God and see how things go. So this is just my little rant. You guys should let me know in the comment section, like, I hope I'm not the only one that is kind of like going through this, where they are trying to find where they want to belong, which side that is right for them. You guys should let me know what are two different sectors or two different subsets that you find yourself where right now you're kind of like trying to figure out which one you really belong to. So this is just a little rant. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope to see you guys in another video. Bye bye.